In this video, you're going to learn not only how to install graphics, but how they're made as well. Don't worry, the part about making them is very short. If you're not into learning about that, you can simply skip ahead. Thanks to Cole, the owner and good friend of mine at Volta Supply, for helping out with this video. Of course, any graphics kit starts with the design, so we fire up the designing program, import the YZ125 layout, and draw up something that suits my style. Simple, clean, but eye-catching. Once the design is finalized, we send it off to the printer where the whole kit is printed onto a large sheet of durable, high-quality, air-release gloss vinyl. That's a mouthful. The printing process takes about 10 minutes. This ensures high resolution and smooth color gradient transitions. Once the print is finished, it gets laminated with an even more durable material to protect the ink and prevent fading. And now comes the fun part. The whole print gets placed on a plotter bed, where a very precise optical imaging system uses dots around the perimeter of the print to calibrate the orientation for cutting. Now, using a very sharp blade, the computer system tells the machine where to make the cuts in reference to the bike's plastics shape. The blade rotates as well as moves along the X, Y, and Z axis in order to make very clean precision cuts. All that's left to do now is break the individual pieces from the sheet, stack them up, and send them to the customer. Or in this case, we're going to throw them on my new set of plastics. Step 1 for installing graphics, and probably the most important thing, is to clean the mounting surface with alcohol. Even on brand new plastics, there can be an oil residue left from the molding process that will give you issues early on if not removed. So I'll be the first to admit that anytime I've installed graphics on my own before, I've done it wrong. I always used a soapy water mixture or something like that to allow myself to slide the graphics around and then squeegee it out with a credit card. Don't even worry about that. It makes a mess, it takes up more time, and it's just completely unnecessary. Instead of doing all of that, start by tearing off a small portion of the backing. Sometimes this piece will be at the end, sometimes it'll be in the middle. We'll show you all of these techniques throughout the video. Align the graphic, referencing the part that has the backing on it. This allows you to move it around without any risk of it sticking and messing up. Once aligned, simply press down the small section with the exposed sticky part. From there, peel off another small section and repeat the process. Make sure that when sticking the new section down, you're working from where you started so wrinkles and bubbles don't form. Keep repeating this process until the whole piece is stuck to the plastic. As you can see here, Gentry worked down the middle of the plastic and then went to the edges where it curves down. This makes it a lot easier to prevent bubbles and wrinkles. Of course, every bike has different plastics, so where you start and where you finish and everything you do in between is really going to be dependent on what piece you're working on and the overall shape of it. Try to start with the most flat, easy large portions and then work your way out into the more difficult contours and smaller bits. This will make it a lot easier to align things. So on the rear fender, he started by peeling a piece off from the end. Well, for the gas tank, we're going to start in the middle and pull a piece off. This is because the center of the gas tank graphic piece has the easiest part to align with that nice big triangle shape. So by peeling that piece off, as long as we get all that aligned and looking good, the rest of the graphic should go on very nice and cleanly. Again, notice how he's working from where he starts and working outwards. So he starts in the middle, he's going to work all the way out to one end, and then he'll go on to the next end and work from there. At the top of the tank, where it's a little more fragile of a piece, he's only taking off small portions of the backing at a time. This gives you room to correct if you accidentally misplace the graphic or form a bubble. Just peel that portion up and try again. At least on the YZs, this shroud is probably the hardest piece. He starts up near the top where he can use the full outline as a guide to get going. Again, he takes off small portions of the backing at a time. In this case, skinny and long strips work best. Since this piece has more contour than the rest, he needs to use his fingers to stretch and form it to the plastic. So you've probably wondered, is it easier to install the graphics with the plastics on or off the bike? That's really dependent on which piece you're working on. Something like the rear fender or the gas tank, it's easy enough to just leave it on. But with this radiator shroud, it's definitely easier to have it uninstalled so you can rotate the piece around and work into all the little nooks and make sure everything's aligned properly. Like most things, installing graphics is a skill. It takes some practice and time to do well. Be patient and go slow. Once it's all stuck down, he uses a heat gun to ensure the tension from stretching is relieved. It's recommended to hit the whole kit with the heat gun afterwards for this reason, and also to ensure the glue forms the best bond. Now just let the kit cure for at least 24 hours, and you're ready to rip. Like I said, Cole's a really good friend of mine, so even if you don't want this specific kit, please go check out the Volta Supply website and help support a good buddy of mine. They've got so many super sick graphics kits, you just gotta go check it out. There's a link in the description of this video.